What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I want to talk about enemy max HP nukers and how their value changed in the last 1 year or so. We haven't really got any new champions that deal damage based on enemy max HP, at least none of them that are amazing. So I don't want to talk about Coalheart. I don't want to talk about rare and epic champions that don't do damage, okay? We have some other champions that have in their skill description damage based on enemy max HP, but honestly, they're not doing any damage, and I can't go to recommend it to any of you guys to 6-star one of these champions. Like, for example, moving over to the Dark Elves, I would never recommend you to build the Steel Boyer because she's just useless. At the same time, I would never suggest you to build another epic champion that deals damage based on enemy max HP. Unfortunately, I kind of forgot his faction, but I'm gonna find him right now and show it to you guys because I want you guys to remember his face. Defiled Sinner, right? This is not a good skill either. Enemy max HP, useless. I cannot suggest you guys to build these champions. So I want to talk about the champions that matter. Coalheart is solid for dungeons, but mainly because of his passive, and this skill right here doesn't make him amazing. I wish they would buff this so we can actually have a legendary one, a Spirit Affinity, that's a AoE enemy max HP nuker. But in today's video, guys, I want to talk about Coalheart, I want to talk about Royal Guard, I want to talk about Husk, I want to talk about Septimus and Armiger. These are the best champions that deal damage based on enemy max HP. Now, if we're gonna have a quick look at Coalheart, just to start it off with her, her value did not change in a bad way at all. She's always skyrocketing, regardless what content comes in the game, regardless what happens. She is just a superstar. She deals tons of damage. We have the Heartseeker, depletes the Thermitter. We have the AoE right here, the A1 of quadruple hit, and is a very powerful skill, either for the Fire Knight, either for the Spider progression, or to the very end game, either for Doom Tower bosses. You cannot go wrong with Coalheart. Honestly, you can always 6-star one without having any sort of regrets. And I have multiple ones with different builds. I have Savage with crit damage. I have different sets like accuracy and crit damage sets. Once you reach the very end game and you're just farming the top stages, you're not gonna have to worry so much about raw damage because they have a cap on the enemy max HP skills of 10%, so you don't really need to give them Savage anymore. And I have one on Reflex. This is mainly for the Doom Tower, for the Dark Fae. So overall, Coalheart, she is still a superstar. You can never go wrong with her. If we're gonna talk about Armiger, you can run Armiger on Dragon 25. You heard me right. It's actually super powerful because this skill is on a 2-turn cooldown. Okay, that's one thing to keep in mind. An enemy max HP skill on a 2-turn cooldown. Having this on a Reflex set with refresh accessories on the Dragon, it means that you're constantly gonna use the A2. It's like you're not even gonna have an A1. Plus the A1 decreases the Thermitter. Now, the actual damage that comes out of the A2 is not something insane. But since the damage is capped at 10%, doesn't matter if you're using Septimus, Armiger, or any other champion that deals enemy max HP, because they'll be doing the exact same damage. So Armiger is actually much better on Dragon 25 compared to Septimus, which we're gonna get to that champion in just a second. This is my build on Armiger. I'm not using him on the Dragon though. I'm using Ninja on the Dragon actually. I have pretty decent stats on him, a bit of accuracy. He's great for progression. Great on the Spider, even for the Fire Knight, even for the Ice Golem. He's not that great for the actual Dragon for progression, but endgame, he's very solid. Great for Doom Tower bosses. You can't go wrong with him. And he's an uncommon champion, man. Like, what else do you want? Just more champions like him. These are the masteries that I actually have on him. I have War Master because the damage is capped at 10%, because I'm in the end game. I'm not worrying about progression, but if you are worrying about progression, you might want to consider a Flawless Execution or Helm Smasher, depending of the gear that you have available for him. If we're gonna move over to quickly talk about Royal Guard. Yeah, I have 5 Royal Guards, and I gotta say, I'm using this champion in many different places. His damage is pretty solid. Is an AoE enemy max HP nuke, so It's not the same like Armiger or Coalheart. If you're running him on the Spider dungeon, you're gonna wanna avoid HP burn champions because he's dealing too much damage on the Spiderlings and he's gonna kill them. So HP burn is not a good combo with the Royal Guard. But he's amazing for progression if you wanna use him to speed farm Dragon 20, to speed farm some of those dungeons, or not necessarily to speed farm, but because of this skill, he can actually help you with the waves. On the A1 defense down, we have decreased speed, decreased thermometer, which is not good for the dragon, but it's good for the Fire Knight, it's good for the Ice Golem, good for Doom Tower bosses like Dark Fae, great for Faction Wars. I just kind of wanna tell you guys, where are all these enemy max HP champions nowadays? He's amazing for Hydra Royal Guard. Honestly, is my second favorite as an enemy max HP nuker. And I'm gonna take you to my favorite now. After I'm gonna show you the build that I have on him, I wanna show you the Savage build that I'm using for my Fire Knight 25. These are the stats. You wanna prioritize some attack as well because he can smack pretty hard with the rest of the skills. I have some accuracy because I am running him on the Dark Fae too. He's essential there, like the A3 decreased speed, decreased thermometer, the enemy max HP nuke, very, very important, guys. I cannot recommend you Royal Guard enough. My most favorite enemy max HP nuker right now is Husk. His values surge like insane, and he's just going higher and higher because of Hydra. So it doesn't mean that you cannot use this champion anywhere else. We have AoE on the A2, chance to stun. He's great for the Dragon Dungeon progression. Great for the Spider, depending on what affinity you're running. Pretty decent for the Ice Golem, because he's an HP-based nuker. He's not gonna get one-shotted. Great for Faction Wars. Overall, you can run this champion anywhere, even in the Doom Tower, without having to worry about it. Now, what exactly is gonna make his value skyrocket even more now, Skratch? What's happening? We have the Provoke on the A1, which is gonna allow us to provoke the Head of Decay, guys. Very important for the Hydra clan boss, and that's why I'm saying like his value is skyrocketing even more. And most probably I'm gonna replace my normal Royal Guard for the Hydra with a Husk. So instead of running 2 Royal Guards, I'm gonna run 2 Husks, even if the affinity is not great for him. I'm gonna try to prioritize some accuracy on them. So at the moment I have them all in Relentless with some other sets, but I don't have tons of accuracy. These are kind of like total stats on them. You see the amount of HP, the defense. He's a very tanky nuker. That's what makes him so amazing. And since I'm farming Hydra non-stop, I do need to have some decent champions that can make my life a bit easier. Now, the damage on enemy max HP nukers is kept there as well. And honestly, I cannot recommend you enough to build a Husk. 100%, zero regrets in having as many as I have. Most probably I'm gonna end up in making more Husks if needed. Who knows? Depending on what we're gonna expect from the next difficulty. Now, the last champion that I want to talk about is Septimus. And I gotta share a bit of disappointment with him. This champion used to be the #1 enemy max HP hitter around 1 year ago. He used to be my most favorite one. I've done a crazy strategy with him back in the day, before I even started streaming and all that. I created the one-shot Septimus strategy on the Spider, guys, on stage 20. He was a beast, hitting for over 5.5 million with the A2, okay? That's how powerful Septimus was. Everybody used to run this champion in Clan Boss because of the passive, but nobody used to run him in the Spider. And when I pulled him finally, I wasn't doing content and stuff at that time on YouTube. I know that Murdering did a video from my account on it. I was like, why nobody runs this champion on the Spider? He's that bad, you know? I took him there and he destroyed. I made him combined him with Battle Khazar, made use of his masteries, gave him Savage and Cruel, which is still the best set for him. And bang, I was like, wow, he can destroy the Spider. But then his value just went down. And I cannot recommend you 2022 to build a Septimus. Yes, he can help you early on for progression to beat some of the lower stages up to stage 20. But I feel like nowadays you can progress so fast through those stages that you won't need him. He's gonna require pretty decent gear in order to deal some damage on the Spider, to deal some damage on the Ice Golem or on the Dragon. Plus, he's not the right affinity for Dragon 20. I feel like he's just not gonna benefit you only on the spider dungeon if you really, really need him there. And of course, you can run him in faction wars, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong in building this champion with the idea that I'm gonna run him in the spider. But then, you won't be able to use this champion anywhere else. Like, I wish that I would see some sort of change with Septimus, honestly, but unfortunately, nothing will really happen. And in the current state, he's just not viable for endgame, mid-game. He's kind of like, yeah, if you get him early on, you need help on the spider, use him. But if not, probably I wouldn't worry about him. Savage and Cruel is definitely the best set to make the most out of it. You can run him on Dragon 25. Let me correct that. But then you can easily replace him with a Dark Kale, which you get for free from the Doom Tower, or with a Ninja, or Armiger, which is going to do a much better job because they're both going to do the same damage with their enemy max HP hit. But Armiger has it on a 2-turn cooldown. This one has it on a 4-turn cooldown. Masteries, I have offense 3 with tier 6 Hammer Smasher, and I went on the support 3 just to gain a bit of accuracy. It might help me in faction wars and stuff like that, but that's kind of like how I feel about enemy max HP nukers nowadays, guys. I wish we would get some more AoE enemy max HP nukers that are legendary champions. Calvalax would be nice if they would actually fix that skill so he can deal solid damage, because we do need the Spirit Affinity too. We have Magic, we have Force, but nothing Spirit that is AoE. Let me know in the comments down below which one is your most favorite enemy max HP nuker and why would you like to see more added to the game. And that was all for this video, guys. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.